gentlemen, this is the Stache and Beard Show. I'm Austin Pistulka. That's Alan Pilley.
What's up, motherfuckers?
I pointed the right direction this time. I'm impressed.
You did good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it still feels weird.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I had to think about it.
Hey, this is the Stache and Beard Show. Stache and Beard Show. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We would love to hear from you. The Stache today is a little weak sauce because we're recording later in the day, and that shit doesn't feel good when it's on fresh and you gotta go to bed. Like the wax that I use gets the pillow all a mess. It's awful. So, and it's not easy to like just shower and get out. So it's a day long wear. So you have to witness the gross stash for today, especially
what
matching.
What you're saying is I need to come up with like a body wash line.
Yeah, now we're talking. Lady Juice body wash. It could work.
I was already thinking of body parts, but whatever.
Okay, so we do have a listener in the chat, which is so much fun. So Lady Juice Remover.
I fucking love that.
Yes,
Lady Juice Remover.
I like that.
Beard and ball wash. That's
Yes,
great. Lady Juice Remover.
That's really good. Oh my gosh. So we've got listeners in the chat, and the first question is about this Children of the Corn painting behind me, which I'm still trying to figure out because it
kind of looks like one of those
do you want me to grab it?
Memories? Those little memories things? You know, those little
I'm not for sure. Here,
no,
give me one
they're
second.
like the little dolls that are ceramic.
Okay. So this was painted by my wife's grandmother. And the reason why we have it is because before we were married, so she's still alive, first and foremost. She's still alive.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Before we were married, even before we were engaged, sophomore year of college, I went up to Christmas with them. And her grandma was very nice and said, now, listen, we don't know when we're going to go. Here's a bunch of sticky notes. Just start putting sticky notes on stuff that you'll want. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. And I put a sticky note on this because I'm like, I like that painting before I was in the family. And she just went back up a couple weeks ago to see them again. And they were like, oh, here, just take this. This is the thing that Austin wanted. So this is the children. It's just two people praying, one with a fantastic looking mustache. And yeah, she painted this herself.
Oh, like painted it herself.
Painted it herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's very crafty. She's like she's got a lot of like, she does like craft stuff, and she quilted us something for when we got married. Like she does a lot of that sort of stuff.
No, that's pretty neat.
But yeah, so that's the Children of the Corn painting that I have.
Way better story. I seriously thought we were going to get something, and I'm just like that we were going to regret having asked.
No. Yeah, it really was. It really is kind of a sweet story. So
yeah, very good story. Do you ever get those ones where you ask about so and so, or hey, so and so? Yeah, they died.
That's always the worst. Not constantly.
I tell this story multiple times to my wife, and I used to say it to my mom when she was alive. But my mom was the world's worst. She'd always ask, "Do you remember so and so?" And I'm like, "No." And she'd be like, "So and so from so and so," and I was like, "No, Mom, I don't know." And she'd keep on.
Okay.
And she kept painting, and she had like, descriptions and identifications, and I'm like, "Mom, I don't know. Like, why? What's up? How's he doing? He's dead." And I'm like, Jesus, lady, like, yeah. But like 5 minutes of trying to talk to me about if I remembered him or her, and giving me all these memories, and like, no, like, why? And then like, oh, they're dead. Like, why couldn't you just say that?
Wow.
Yeah, that's how my
Man.
mom used to do it. Yeah.
The closest thing I have to that is the fact that I don't remember anyone from 2015 back, probably. Like high school,
That's
my
6
wife,
years.
you're correct. It's
I have a shitty memory, but I remember more than 6 years.
like, unless it was someone like really involved in my life, I don't remember them.
What are you, fucking Drew Barrymore from 51st Dates?
Yes. Just be my Adam Sandler, okay? That's all I need.
Pass.
But no, so she will constantly tell me like, "Oh, you remember so and so from high school?" I'll be like, "No, I do not."
Who's this, Liz?
Liz, yeah.
Yeah.
This happened literally last week because one of her students is actually the like stepdaughter of someone we went to high school with, and Liz even said, "You're not going to know who this person is." I said, "Come on, try me. I mean, come on. I went to high school with them." And she sent me a name, and I went, "I have no idea who this human being is. I have never seen this person before in my life." And she like goes through Facebook profile pictures and will send me one from like senior year of high school and be like, "Nah, I think you're lying to me. I don't think that person exists." So, but that happens constantly with me, like people from high school, working the job that I do now, where I like have to go and sell to people that I knew back in high school, which was almost a decade ago. And they'll be like, "Oh, Austin, it's so good to see you again." And I go, "You too."
I hate that. I hate that. Like I hate that I forget names. I'll remember faces.
Yep.
But they'll come up to me and I'll at least know that I know you by face.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll know me by name and tag and city, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, yeah." And then have to hopefully you'll come up and I'll be like, "Hey, this is Austin," and then like, "Hey, man, I'm Austin," and introduce, and then I'll be like, "Oh, my name's Fred something," you know what I mean?
Yep.
It never works out in my favor, but whatever.
It never does. I'm always, my memory is so terrible. I think I just got a text from Liz. Yeah. Liz texting me more instances of me not knowing.
Oh, is she listening?
People. Yeah, she's in the other room, but she just texted me. She's like, this happens way more than you think it does, Austin.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, memory is rough for me, and it's probably because I do stupid things like eating 10,000 calories in a day.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
We do.
This was the challenge you did because of 10,000 followers, correct?
Yep. So over on TikTok, at Actually Average, Liz and I have reached 10,000 followers, and we like just barely capped over it. You know who is actually my 10,000th follower?
Who?
Friend of the show, Dan Bell.
Are you serious?
He sent me a video of him following and unfollowing me for like 5 minutes because he was like number
10,000.
He wanted to be number 10,000. Dan Bell was number 10,000.
That's really awesome.
And so, as a way to celebrate, Liz ran a 10K and made a video about it. And I said, "I bet I could eat 10,000 calories. I bet I can do it." And I did it in the dumbest way possible. Like, I know for a fact it was stupid. Started off the day with some good old fashioned country fried steak and eggs and hash browns.
Cracker Barrel?
No, Cook's Cafe here in Lincoln. They're like a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
I would have done Waffle House if we would have done it in Florida, but because we're back in Lincoln, we went to our favorite breakfast spot. Then immediately went and got a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which is 1,240 calories per pint. So if you're going around eating those, I got the Gimme S'more flavor. I'm a sucker for s'mores, man. Yeah. If it's marshmallow.
Back in the day, I was a big Rocky Road and a s'mores fan.
Yeah. What are you now? What's your go-to now?
Yeah, I don't do ice cream, but mint chocolate chip used to be.
Yeah.
Like back in the day.
Yeah.
Mint chocolate chip was always my favorite.
It's so good. It's a classic flavor.
Yeah.
Liz is
what's it called? Dairy Queen, the blizzards, Oreo blizzards.
See, I couldn't ever get into like Oreo blizzards. It was always cookie dough blizzard. And then they actually came out with like a s'mores blizzard, and that was the best. Pumpkin pie blizzard is my go-to now. Like when it comes around, it's relatively new, and it's one of those like seasonal releases that oh, it's fall, so pumpkin flavored shit.
Oh, you'll get me up at Starbucks because they have their pumpkin spice lattes.
That's right around the corner,
I'll
man.
go white girl it up there for the month of October.
Hell yeah. It's right around the corner too. And I know
we have a listener comment. Their favorite flavor is Moose Tracks flavor.
Moose Tracks? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's like the is it the brownie bites or the chocolate bites?
Oh, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I think you might be right on that.
All right, so we got $12.40. Yeah, whatever your country fried breakfast was.
Right. Then I had a family size bag of pork and chicken dumplings.
Pork and chicken?
Yep, pork and chicken dumplings, which that was another, like 1,500, 1,600 calories, something like that. I had full flavored pop for the first time in like that wasn't attached to an alcohol.
So to everyone else in the other 49 states, pop is...
Oh, fuck you. Soda, bro. I got me a soda or a Coke. Pop, man.
Pop is so like middle America, Northern America. Like
yeah. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what is it. I know like down in Mississippi, Coke.
Right.
You got a Coke, and a Coke is everything. A Coke could be Mountain Dew. A Coke could be Pepsi.
Stupid.
I'm telling you,
way dumber than pop. Okay.
Right, and I'm in agreement with you. Like Coke is Coke. Can I get a Pepsi? But you got Coke, and that was like a soda.
So hold on. If a lovely waitress walks up to you and goes, "Hi, what are you drinking?" and you say a Coke, do they then ask what kind?
Well, yeah. You'll go from flavors in there, but like soda, like or the classic is we don't have Coke products here, Pepsi. Like now you got to pick.
Yeah.
And if you're a Pepsi fanatic, then you just don't drink soda.
Well, that's true. That's true. No,
I don't like any Coke products.
Nebraska, the University of Nebraska, is sponsored by Pepsi. And
really?
So, yeah. And Runza is a Pepsi company. Runza is one of the big fast food chains that's only in Nebraska. And so, yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
I'm just thinking that's weird because I think Warren Buffett he owns millions of shares of Coke.
Does he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he does. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the most profitable companies of all time. But I have to go back and take
a look at his holdings. I don't think Pepsi's in there. That's just weird to hear. Nebraska and then, what they...
Right.
The Oracle of Omaha.
Yes, the Oracle of Omaha. I like that. I haven't heard that one. I like that.
I love Warren Buffett. Like I like anything he says and his little nuggets of wisdom. But anyway, I didn't know Nebraska was sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah, it's so weird to think about. Like it was a big change coming down. I didn't realize how much Pepsi I drank while I was up here. But a lot of places just go on Pepsi because it's the official soda, official pop of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, which is weird. So
we got Royce low crawling through the kitchen so he's not on camera. He literally military crawled in here and out.
Yes. I love Royce so much.
But yeah.
Incredible. Okay, so I had a couple giant Dr. Peppers, full flavored, full calorie, like sugary Dr. Peppers. And then went for a big long walk because I had taken a nap because I was up till 2:30 in the morning the previous night, closing down a bar. Pro wrestling stuff, you know how it goes.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, you'll find out in another segment on the Stache and Beard Show. But so take this big long walk, 3 mile walk. Liz and I actually walked to church. We had church at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And so we walked there, which was about 1.5 miles each way. We get back and we pop this 9x13 mac and cheese, 3,500 calorie mac and cheese into the oven. And we're just waiting. We start going live on TikTok, get some people coming in, talking and all that sort of stuff. And then I get it in front of me and I'm like, oh, fuck. This is so much mac and cheese.
It looked like a humongous portion.
It was, so it said 10 servings of about 350 calories per serving. And I needed that plus another pint of ice cream to get me over the 10,000 calorie mark. And the way for me to try and add on calories so I didn't have to eat as much is I started taking a couple shots of Fireball, which are 100 calories each. So that was smart. And I drank more Dr. Pepper. I ended up eating. I was just
about to ask, where'd you get to?
I ended up eating. So it's 4 pounds, 12 ounces of mac and cheese. There was only 1 pound and 10 ounces left when I was done eating it. So we got about 3/4 of the way through, and I couldn't put another spoonful in my mouth. Like I was starting to gag on like just flavor of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Like it was, if I were to do it all again, I would not have gone with the 3,500 calories of mac and cheese. I would have gone with like 2,000 calories of mac and cheese, and then, another 1,500 calories of like hamburger or just something else, a different flavor.
It's calorically dense, but it's just so much. It just sits so heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. And it was, gosh, man, it was nuts. And I ate all that in about 40 minutes. Like it was it was just shovel mode, brother. Like it was just shovel. You want to hear the final stats for the day? Yeah. Okay, let me pull up MyFitnessPal because I tracked it all day. Okay. Let's see. Diary yesterday. So I don't know if you can see this, but
very, very,
very hard. I went 6,206 calories over my allotment. I ended up finishing with 8,848 calories on the day.
Question, is that the most you've ever eaten a day ever in your life?
Yes. Easily the most I've ever eaten in a day ever. The scary part, well, I'll get to the scary part. You want to take a stab at my macros?
Oh, with the mac and cheese, your fat had to be, and the ice cream,
fat
had to be over 350 grams.
Yep.
Protein, you had the country fried in the morning. Ice cream is negligible, but there's protein in there, that mac and cheese. 250 grams?
A little lighter than 220.
220? Okay. Yep. Carbs, dude, you had to have been over 800.
1,058 grams of carbs.
Really?
Yep, on the day. 1,058 grams of carbs.
And 220 on the protein. What was the actual fat number?
382.
382.
Yeah.
Now, how much of that was saturated fat?
Ooh, let me see if I can find that out.
And we need to know sodium because everybody's like, oh my God, he's going to die with sodium.
You are correct. Let's see. Nutrients. Okay. Saturated fat, 140 grams of saturated fat. Sodium. I haven't even seen this number yet.
Sodium's got you got to be over. God, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 20,000 milligrams.
I am not that far over, thankfully. I am well under that. 13,686 milligrams. 13,000.
So Stan Efferding had a Rhino's Rants about what is the most anabolic supplement. And everybody was like, oh, creatine and something, and he actually came out and said sodium. And that we eat far less sodium than is actually necessary for our bodies. It was a pretty interesting YouTube video. But he's talking to us about getting upwards of 8,000 to 12,000 milligrams a day. And that sodium is actually not as bad for your body. Now, and this isn't to go say, you know,
Go
you're
have
already
party
hypertensive.
size. Go have party size pans of mac and cheese. That's not saying that.
Yeah, exactly. But like that's, you know, he gets on there and talks about for like what we do with athletics, and especially if you're in a career or an occupation where you sweat, you know, actually how great sodium is for your muscles. And he puts all the science out there, and it's just like, you know, what we're taught from like young on is that sodium's bad. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but like I said, if you've already got pre-existing heart conditions and other things, then of course be careful.
Yeah.
But to not be afraid, especially with what we do is lifting and laborious jobs and things like that, to get some extra sodium into your diet. And also how amazing it'll make your, you know, your muscles feel, contractions and things like that, and recovery and sleep and all that type of stuff. You know, it's an electrolyte, you know, that we have in Gatorade. And
I was shocked that like when I went on my walk prior to the mac and cheese, I was shocked at how easily 5,000 calories felt, close to 6,000 calories felt in my system. And actually doing a workout of sorts, you know, walking isn't necessarily super hard, super strenuous, but I never felt tired, like a little bit of fatigue from walking, but not tired. Whereas in a lot of workouts, which maybe that reflects that I should be eating more calories than I am, I will be physically tired, you know, physically, mentally tired. I was locked in on that walk.
So you had asked me when you were still down here in Florida about my counting of calories and such, and I started doing so about 3 weeks ago. Got really every day, and I eat anywhere between 3,400 to 3,800 a day.
Really?
And that's to lose weight.
Okay.
I went to go put a suit on that I had tailored in, and it didn't fit, and I was like, "Fuck this!" Like what's going on here? Like, let me track and find out what my days were. So, a couple surprising things. I've been staying right around the 3 to 3,400. I don't go to the 38.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately started sleeping better. Like my sleep quality, like I would sleep a lot longer, stay asleep through cycles where I would get up to go take a piss, come back, go to sleep, wake up, take a piss. That went away. Like I was getting up at 6:30 and I'm like, oh my God, I got to go fucking pee.
Really?
Yeah. Started realizing that immediately, like just from that, like 3,400, like I was losing weight, started cracking down from like 285. I sit about 274 now. But so maybe even in there, I could actually eat a little more because that's a little aggressive on the weight loss. That's, and even some bloat potentially from, you know, some other things. But what is that? 85 to 74. That's 11 pounds in 3 weeks, which is kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
So I may even be able to take that number up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was the first thing I noticed, is I was sleeping like a fucking baby. Second thing I noticed is that the 750 calorie mark, I'm done, man. Like I ate 750 at breakfast and I'm literally fucking spooning it in. And I'm like, I'm good. And I didn't even eat that whole 750 calorie meal. So that was the second thing. And then the third thing, literally just forgot, as I said, the third thing. It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
I think it had to do with that's what it was. So then one day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's Sunday. We're going to go off the fucking rails. I ain't going to count shit. And amazing how I, even saying that, couldn't. Like I was like, I don't want to go off the rails. I look in the fucking fridge and I'm like, I've got calories. I got calories left for the fucking day. Let me go eat. And I will abstain from certain foods that I don't have the want or desire for anymore.
Yeah.
And that's all within about a 3-week period of just getting strict and structured on it. You know?
Man, wow. So, that's cool. That's really cool.
But anyway, so that made me think about when you had asked me, hey, what do you eat? And I was like, I don't have a fucking clue.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting because, like, in my mind, I'm trying to think of, like, because I'm going to go on another cycle of cutting here shortly, because I have not clearly, through 10,000 calories in a day, but I haven't been counting. And I need to crack back down on it in order to get back to where I feel comfortable at. Cause I feel pretty heavy right now. And I want to get back down to about 255 where I was sitting prior to this. And with that, it's definitely one of those things where either I'm on or I'm off. And so if I'm on for the whole week. If I'm off, I'm off for the whole week. I can't take a day. If I just take a day, then like I don't know, it's a mental thing. It's a weird mental thing with me.
No, and this is the thing, everybody, you got to find out what works for you, dude. And this isn't just to you, this is anybody. You know, like there's people literally who carb cycling. We may start off on a Sunday and have you eating 3,800, and then we might go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have you eating 3,300, back to 38 on Thursday, back to 3,400 or 33 on Friday, Saturday. And you get a couple high days in there, you know, is like, hey, good job. And ends up that at the end of the week, your average is in a deficit to get you losing weight.
Right.
And there's some people that can't do that because they feel guilty on their 3,800 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, well, fuck, man, like now you're 3,300 the entire week. You have other people that don't need that type. They can just, hey, what do I need? 3,300? Done.
Yeah.
You know, there's other people 6 days a week. We have you at, 2,800. And then on day 7, fucking go off the rails, eat, have fun, go out, to like your restaurant you and your wife went to, Liz, go have a pint of, Ben and Jerry's. Yeah. And you start to find that, like, oh, this is my off the rails day and I can't eat, I don't like all that, it's just interesting what happens to every individual in there,
Yeah. And it's easier it's easier to eat more of the clean stuff. And I use clean stuff like loosely because, everything is nutrition in some way. Yeah. But it's easier for me to eat 2,600 calories of lean ground beef, rice, and peas, having that for every day of the week, than it is for me to try and fill 2,600 calories with potato olays from Taco John's. Like I can physically eat more and I feel better doing it. Whereas maybe I end up only hitting 1,800 calories eating McDonald's, but I feel gross the rest of the day. Yeah.
So, and that's the other things, we talk calorically dense foods, we talk nutritionally dense foods, things like that. I go to First Watch quite a bit here recently. They have their turkey sausage and biscuits, 930 calories. And dude, I'm grabbing a doggy bag. Like I can't eat it all. And then I go and I take a look at it, and a lot of the fat comes from the gravy. Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, I like it, but like it's not even worth it, Right. It doesn't sit as long as other breakfast foods or lunch foods would sit, So then you start looking at that. It's like, okay, like you like it, but it doesn't sit, and now you're hungry or whatever, you know what I mean? So like now it's just like, okay, I may like it. Yeah. And today may be my off the rails day, but I'm like, yo, like this doesn't, it's not even, it's neither not filling me up for that long or what it makes me feel like afterwards. Right. Type of thing. So now I just weigh my options and I'm like, return on investment's not there. Like move on. Right. Pick a different food, So yeah. But when you're it's just funny what you find and what works for you and all those type of things, Yeah. And when you do, run with it. Yeah. For sure. But coming back to you, about the cut, which is good, but make sure you don't undercut, and now we start sacrificing things like recovery and sleep and strength, and then just being more aware of your body in the gym, because I know you and you're going to want to push and start listening. And hey, this might be one of those days I need to dial it back. Right. The work Alan sent me was 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 12. Okay. But maybe you know what? Maybe we go 2 sets, and just if you start feeling like that, so we don't just bury ourselves and then have to work on trying to unbury ourselves. Yeah. So just be careful of that,
It's a tough balance.
You should be good. Yeah. It is. But once, it's easy-ish to find. You just got to be aware. You know what I mean? So you'll be fine.
Go in, sonar out, radar on, whatever you want to call it, in order to know how your body feels, listen to your body. Your body better than anyone.
Yeah, no, and listen to it. Like you said, when you're on, you're on. When you're off, and realize that you're off. Mm-hmm. This isn't the direction you want to go, and hop back on, Yeah, absolutely. But the biggest thing is that when you're on, what's your strength doing? Especially because I know, how you are with your strength. So if that's suffering and we're sore for longer and joints are starting to take a beating, let's go take a look at, those hydration levels, sodium levels, and food,
Absolutely.
Fine.
Well,
So-
we've got a lot more to talk about on this episode of the Stache and Beard
Yeah,
Show.
we need to hear this drinking story.
Yeah, we do, and we need to talk about how all of a sudden I am the hottest person at pro wrestling shows thanks to this thing. We'll talk about that more coming up right on the other side of the break. This is the Stache and Beard Show. See you later.
Later, motherfuckers.